let me tell you something. Ghostface Killah disowns his son because Ghostface Killah thought he raised a warrior. He thought he had a son cut from that Wu-Tang cloth. Woo with it, woo. Ghostface Killah thought he had a son that was gonna rock Timberland boots, 13 and a half, a wife beater, and some goddamn blue 501 Levi jeans. You know how them New York ninjas do. But when his son came out the goddamn closet, Ghostface Killah couldn't handle it. He disowned him. He turned his back on the gay son because he thought his legacy would fail. He thought his legacy was on the line. He felt embarrassed. And his rainbow ass son thought his dad was gonna support his preference. Like Dwayne Wade support his son, and Magic Johnson support his son, and Marlon Wayans support his son. But Ghostface Killah removed his son out the goddamn will and cut all ties with the boy. But here's where the goddamn plot get twisted. The boy ain't fold. He goddamn grabbed that goddamn mic and he dropped the diss record on his daddy. A whole track dragging Ghostface Killah thing through the goddamn mud, exposing his daddy as a fake, lame, deadbeat dad. And on that track, he ain't show no love. He ain't have no mercy, and he ain't show no goddamn pity. The rainbow son ain't hold back. All he was missing on that goddamn diss record was a feature from Lil Nas X, Lil Uzi Skirt, and Big Saucy Santana, and that shit would have been a hit. Cause the song said this on the diss record: you rhyme about pain, loyalty, and keeping it real, but you couldn't even keep it real with your own child. You the ghost, cause you disappeared when I needed you the most. Not a son gaining fans and becoming the face of goddamn hip-hop. You know they got a community led by Young Buck, Lil Uzi Skirt, Lil Nas X, and goddamn Young Thug. But Lil Ghostface Killah, goddamn running the goddamn New York division. He becoming the face of that hip-hop industry over there on that goddamn side of town. You know what I put this shit on, you know what it is. A lot of people crowding Ghostface Killah's son as the new generation Wu-Tang Rainbow Clan. And now some people on the goddamn fence saying Ghostface should squash that goddamn beef with his son. It's some people that feel like Ghostface Killah should embrace his son and accept his son's preference and display maturity and understanding as a goddamn fully grown man. But if you know about New York City and how hard it was growing up in a time where Ghostface Killah grew up in, you know them men out there, hardcore, rough and rugged, man. They got a special kind of arrogance, even if they ain't rich. They don't care about that shit. You gotta pull out more than some money to impress a New York man. They built different. And no matter what the world accepts nowadays, certain shit is still unacceptable for a real thorough New York ninja. I feel like Ghostface is probably heartbroken that his son chose mushroom tips over peaches. And see, sometimes that could be hard for a straight man to accept, especially from his own son, especially from a New York ninja out there with Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx. Man, they were hardcore over them bridges. Cause everybody ain't like Magic Johnson or Marlon Wayans and Dwayne Wade, who living his goddamn real dream where he like it in a donut, glazed donut, goddamn, he like that, he living through his son. Ghostface Killah ain't like that. But it's hard for the child too, especially when all you see is goddamn men online. Then they showing it in the movies. You couldn't even go to the goddamn movies and sit down with your child and watch the Toy Story movie without seeing Woody looking for some goddamn wood. They even got it in reality shows. So think about this. As a confused child without the proper understanding on life because your mind ain't mature yet, you start to think that man and man is a normal thing, a woman on woman is a normal thing. And kids probably gonna always normally rebel against everything that the parent standing for, because that's what's going on. If they peers doing it, they feel like, why can't I do it? And you just don't understand. And see, that's when you gotta use a different parenting system in this generation. You can't lead through force when raising a child. You can't force them to do nothing. You have to use understanding and lead by example. Because as that child get older, it will have the power of choice, the power to choose. And sometimes when a child feels neglected, it yearns for attention and do all kind of shit that you don't want them to do to get your attention. When they got your attention, now they want to do right to keep your attention. So I feel like if Ghostface Killah just sat back, man, and say, you know what, man, I'm gonna bite my tongue on this one, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna call my son, what's going on? Let's have a meeting. He gonna show up with the goddamn shit that I got on. And you gotta accept that and sit in front of that child and talk to him like a player and let him know I'm standing on business. This is what it is. I accept what you doing. I probably don't agree with it, but I accept it. And once you probably accept it, he might convert over because he see that it ain't getting him nowhere with you no more. So that's what you gotta do, man. Because after you did all that you could do to lead them in the right way, man, all you could do is wash your hands at that point and let life dry them off. Because experience gonna always be a child best teacher. Not just a child, your ass too as a father. Experience, because can't nobody tell you what it is to raise one of them child that done went this goddamn way when you don't go that way. Can't nobody tell you unless you going through it. Experience gonna always be your best teacher. Can you picture Ghostface Killah at home, hearing his own son, man, his own blood, his own DNA, his own style, getting remixed and weaponized against him? What that's like if they were standing in the same house and he was doing that, man? Imagine your kid roasting you on the record and then Funk Master Flex dropping all kind of bombs all over Hot 97, just boom, while he playing that shit. Then you switch over to the channel because you see they goddamn hating on your goddamn Hot 97. You go to Power and goddamn DJ Clue playing that shit too. How you feel about that? Knowing you gave this child life, this child wouldn't even exist in the world if it wasn't for you. You are his pops, but now he done became your op, but he come out your goddamn sack. How you feel about that? What you gonna say when your own son sunning you on wax in front of everybody, and everybody you got there with, you run around, I'm Ghostface Killah, ninja, blah. Guess what? They looking at you like a joke. Look how your son out here carrying on in the world, and you supposed to be a real G. Think about what I'm saying, man. How do you respond to that as a father? And I want to ask y'all something. I want y'all to drop it in the comments. If you was a Ghostface Killah right now, your son went that way, or your daughter went that way, man, and your son came to you and told you that he want mushroom tips over peaches, what would you do? How would you respond? Would you disown him, or would you embrace his preference until life teach him a lesson? I want y'all to comment below, man, because it's a lot of parents that's watching this video right now and they reading the comments. Teach them how you deal with that if you ever dealt with that. Ghostface Killah, I'm sure he watching this video right now. Comment below, he probably need the help, the guidance, because you done went through it. Teach him what your experience was like. Because this ain't no diss record against these rainbow people. This is an example of what somebody going through in the goddamn black people community, man. That's a legend out here, man, that probably feel like his legacy being threatened and tarnished by his own son. But it ain't got to be like that if you look at it a different way. I want somebody to go in the comments right now and teach Ghostface Killah how to think directional. Not one direction, directional. Teach him how to think different ways. Because remember, adding up 3 + 3 = 6, but 4 + 2 = 6 too. So I want somebody to teach Ghostface Killah in the comments how to add it up in different ways. Y'all comment below. Y'all like this video. Y'all make sure y'all share this video right now to somebody. Tag somebody in the comments. We the business.